Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Awesome. I was trying to get some scripts up because I know the other day we didn't really have any up. How's everyone's day so far?
So far, so good.
Excellent. So what do you, anybody have anything particular they want to work on?
I have one of someone who I've been speaking with who had mentioned that she wanted to sell it on her own, but she keeps asking me questions.
I love those. I think Teresa knows people like that.
Yeah, and so that was when I sent you that text last night. She asked me who usually pays for the photography.
Oh, right,
And,
right.
No worries. I did find somebody, and I also told her she has to pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, well, if the photography, I always pay for.
You do?
Staging, yeah, I always do the photography. That's included in, what I do. Well, that's a 5% fee, a full 5%
she
fee. I
had
pretty
already
much give a lot.
She had talked me down to 4%.
Okay, so yeah, you could, definitely say, at 5%, I'll take care of all of this for you. But at 4, there's, no staging consult. These are the things you lose out on. So
Yeah.
who's going to do the photos? Are you going to have somebody and she'll end up paying for it, or how is that going to work?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like I could, because I do have someone in my, in my list of vendors that, I could arrange it for her, but she would just write the check. But then I didn't know if that's normally, it's just been a while since I've had a listing.
Yeah. So, think about this every time, this is our own business and we can run it any way we like.
Mm-hmm.
So you can decide, you can decide to take that 4% and still do photography if you wanted to. But, at the same time, what are you getting in the end? It's not like you can say, I'll take 2.5 and offer out 1.5. You're not going to get a buyer agent
Right, exactly.
and bring someone in. So I would say, yeah, you can say, here's the photographer and here's, definitely have them pay, or if you had some sort of agreement that you pay up front the costs, but you have no guarantee that you will actually get that back.
Okay.
That's interesting, Lisa, because I just signed a listing, but it's not great for me. They kind of kept arguing about the commission and wanted 3% and understood that they could do this, blah, 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 blah. So, I spoke with Bill and Kristen for a while, and they said they pretty much have you over a barrel because if I open my front door, I'm looking at them. And then they said, you have to, probably should offer the buyer's agent the 2%. So I'll be taking one. Yeah. Well, now I've got them up to 3.5, but so I'll get 1.5. And I was still planning on doing the photos. Should I rethink that?
I think you should. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's hard to, did you give them what you are basically, did you talk to them about what you have for services?
Well, I told them, when they were kind of playing around with the commission, I told them.
Let's go over like exactly how it was. So do you have a net sheet that shows how much money the house sells for, and then back out the expenses, including your fee? Do you present that?
I did not, no.
I find it's bold because you show somebody exactly what it is that you are offering out and what is going to go in their pocket and most times I try to know the mortgage and have that in there. But if I don't know what the mortgage is, I say, and then you can subtract your mortgage. And this is the net that goes in your pocket. Because people are looking at this pie in the sky, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to get, I don't know, $500,000 for my house. So that means $500,000 in my pocket, right? Well, there's tax stamps and different things. And so I always put down what we give out. What do they get for us? And they'll say, well, can you do better than than this? And I'll say, well, if you can see right here, how much do I get paid? I get paid 2.5%. We do want to offer out 2.5% to bring in a great agent, don't we? Yeah. And you may say, well, do you want to give that buyer agent just 2%? Because I never work for less than 2.5. Okay, so there's a 4.5%. You're still going to get your 2.5.
It went on though. The argument was, I wish it were that easy.
I know.
Basically
So
kind of like, hey,
let's role play.
Yeah.
Can we role play? Like,
Well, I'll tell you what
how-
they said if I can be them.
yes. So here, I'll say, here's, I'd love to list your home at $500,000. Does 500, whatever. I don't know how it came up with the price, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, we're willing to do that. We want to give it to you, but, this is our nest egg and, we're going to need all the money we can get. So we know that commissions are negotiable. And maybe we can do a sliding commission, whatever that is. I don't know, but that's what they said. So
Commissions are negotiable. Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, well, I figure if you can do it for 3, that would be, we can talk.
That's
And
awesome. I do it for 2.5.
yeah, no, I need the money. We need the money. So, isn't 3 better than 3 with some kind of money better than 2.5 with nothing?
Well, I'm not a discount broker. You do know that, right?
Yeah, well, I just figure you might want some money from it.
Sure.
So,
But, I'm not here for the money. I'm here to help you get your home sold. And in return, I will be paid for that.
and
I'm wondering.
Everybody's telling us to do it on our own. So I thought I'd give you, the chance to sell it and make a little money, figuring a little money is better than no money at all.
I appreciate that. I really do. And I know it's a very competitive market and you could probably find, a realtor anywhere. So I appreciate the opportunity. I'd love to show you what I can do for you. And I can do 2.5%. And what do you want to offer the buyer agent that brings the buyer?
No, I like I said, I'm trying to save some money. So I think, the 3% sounds good, and like I said, I'm not trying to jerk you around. I'm just, I can find somebody who would do it. I was just going to give you the opportunity to put some money in your pocket.
Did you interview anybody else yet?
No, I wanted to give it to you because I know you and I trust you.
That's interesting. I'm just trying to figure out who does it for 3% in this market.
Well,
Other than
I've had a lot of people tell us, do it on your own or go for these 3% agents. I think Redfin's one of them.
Mhm.
And
Well, I
people told me they've
appreciate it.
had success. So
You know what? Why don't we sign the contract and I'll see what I can do. I'm going to talk with my broker because I'm not sure I can do that, but I will do my best to convince my broker that I really want to work with you and help you guys through this transaction. So why don't we sign the paperwork and let me go talk with my broker and then I'll come back and we'll make sure that we can make this happen. Would that be okay?
sure, that sounds good.
And then maybe
You know-
give them some time to think about it and come back and
Well-
blame it on your brokerage.
They signed the 4%, well, the husband had, and then the next day he came back with the like, no, I want to do 3. And
Yeah.
it was tough. And the reason, I went with it after, first I was like, forget it, it's not worth it. But if I opened my door and saw somebody else's sign sitting there,
Yeah, it
And-
would be horrible.
and I'm going to see them forever. These are people who I've been to their kids' weddings. They've been to my kids, this kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it feels I'm doing it to build my portfolio rather than make money. And,
I mean, you're right. You will probably capture at least another buyer, which, in turn, what the heck, you might as well, right? It's so hard when sometimes it's easier to work with people you don't know, right? People you
Right.
know can be such a pain in the ass.
it's, but can you just, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to like take up this whole conversation. When you say, well, my services are, what kind of things do you present?
So, so I put down, first of all, like their mortgage, right? And then I do the tax stamps. Everybody knows it's 4.5 per 1,000, right? So I put that in. I put brokerage fee, list side. Sometimes you can just put the number. You don't have to put a percentage,
Mm-hmm.
And then I do buy side, same thing. So you could say list side 2.5%, buy side 2.5%, and you split those up. So it looks like two different numbers, right? So you're not looking at a big fat 30,000, you're looking at 15 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put underneath attorney's fees, and I put approximately $1,200. After that, I start to write down, staging consult included, photography and photography, floor plans, drones included. If it depends on the property, some of them I don't need to do a drone, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd say included. Social media marketing included. I would say, what else do we say here? Trying to think of all the things. I break down, transaction coordinator included. Smoke and carbon certificate. Now it's up to you guys. You want to include that or not. The certificate's not that much money. We tend to take care of some of those depending on the property. We'll take care of that included. Or you might say smoke and carbon certificate, $50 or approximately $100, depending on what it's going to be. So that might be their responsibility. So I break it all down, subtract all the money, and at the bottom, there's the money that they're actually going to get. So here's what we're going to sell your house for. We're going to take all these expenses out, and this is what's going to go in your pocket. And I say, so if we, if 459 is what goes in your pocket, is that okay with you? And then they usually go, yeah, that's okay. I'm like, okay, great. So that's about where we should net. And if we get more money, that bottom line is going to increase. Does that sound great? That sounds great. Okay, that's fantastic.
Well, again, I feel like I don't want to take up everybody's time, but they're so, I think people are confused because they were saying things like, well, in this market, you're really not going to be working very long. It will probably sell the first weekend. So it's not like you're going to be doing it for days. So
I'll be with you about at least 60 days of this process. We'll be working together. We'll be communicating over the next 60 days at a minimum. From the start, from today to the end, I'll tell you that we will communicate every single week for the next 60 days. I can tell you that with 100% certainty.
Yeah. God, I wish you took the call.
Well, I didn't feel this confident before. I certainly did not feel that confident, but I did have we had 2 appointments yesterday, and, someone said, well, if you bring the buyer, can you do it for less? Can you do it for 4%? I said, well, I understand, I want you to know that we are not a dual agency. We are designated. So we work for you. And if a buyer comes in, we can facilitate that. We can bring them through, but we can't advise them on pricing or negotiations or things like that. We'll be doing double the work, but if that's important to you, we can talk about that if that happens. So one of them, we signed up with 4% if we brought in the buyer, but 5% if we didn't. And it's more than likely we're not going to bring the buyer. And then on the other one, we didn't get the signature. We didn't leave with a signature, and it was the first time I had met them, and she had a lot of questions, but I loved it. So, what makes you different than other realtors? What do you, my sister gave me some questions to ask, and all sorts of things. And I said, well, you told me both of your sisters had had real estate, had been selling some properties in the past year. Why didn't you go with those realtors? So then she went through all the reasons why she wouldn't go with them and how unhappy they were. So then I could figure out, okay, so I can kind of work that and provide better service for her. So I love the questions. Sometimes you might feel like, you want to take your time before you start answering them, so you don't talk too long, and you make them short answers. because otherwise you start rambling and it never goes well. Try to
Can I
make
ask
them
one
short.
last question? I'm sorry. What do you, photography typically around 500, would you say? For
No, it's probably 250 maybe.
Okay, I
So,
paid 5 for
but
my last one.
that's a lot. Did you do floor plans and drones?
Yes.
Well, this one, I would say do photos only,
Okay.
right? No reason to do floor plans unless they have this massive, beautiful backyard near a park or a reservoir or near the ocean. Don't do a drone. And then floor
Okay.
plans, you can just do the measurements on MLS.
Okay.
I mean, if they want to pay that, that's fine. But you can give them, here's the phone number of my photographer. Why don't you give them a call and find a time that's convenient for you? And I just want to remind you, when I have my full fee, I can take care of all of this for you. But I understand what you think is that you're going to net more money by, I mean, you don't have to say this because you get them signed up, but honestly, people will think they're going to net more money in their pocket if they give you less money, but you're going to give less service. You can't give out the service. Yesterday, this woman's cleaned out her house. It looks like new, kind of looks like they painted every wall white. It's kind of weird. It's a little strange looking. But they took everything out and I said, you need staging. She's like, why do I need staging? I mean, everything sells right now and there's nothing on the market. I said, well, you're going to sell your house, but a staged home will sell 88% faster for 20% more money. That's statistically. So even in this market, a staged home is going to appeal to more people than a non-staged home. So I convinced her
And
to at least have the consultant possibly hire her, then she can pay if she wants to do more than just a consult.
because they were also asking, I'm sorry, I have so many questions. Margaret, go ahead.
They're all relevant to what I'm doing as well. Thanks, Teresa. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was just going to say, they asked me that. They said, is it better for us to get a lot of the furniture out or keep it? And when I had looked at their bedrooms, there was only one bedroom being used as a bedroom. They were using one as a den now and one as a storage room. So I felt like it's better to get rid of that so people can see it as a bedroom.
Mhm.
And is that right? Or
Oh, bedrooms have to be made back into bedrooms.
Mhm.
You could use
Okay.
one as an office, but if it looks like like such a small bedroom, you want to make it back into a bedroom.
but
if
would it be okay empty?
It's okay empty. I think it's better than being full of stuff.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they
But
have a lot
I
of
would have
stuff.
at least 2 bedrooms as bedrooms,
Okay,
because otherwise it looks like a 1 or a 2 bedroom house and you're not going to get as much money. And even at 1%, you're going to get less. So find some sort of Google staging principles and print something out. You guys can Google everything.
Yeah, I know.
Google a staging principle type of thing and get it and bring it to them and say, I would really love you to follow this so we can, don't go around and spend a ton of time with them. You're busy. You got to find people who pay 2.5%
okay.
or 7%.
Yeah.
Diana, I had a question.
Yeah.
So, I literally just started with Keller Williams on like Monday.
Oh,
But
welcome, Justin.
oh, thank you. But I have my first meeting with a potential client about a listing on Sunday, and it actually is fairly similar to Teresa's situation where it's my neighbor. I know her fairly well, and like it would be a situation, sort of the same thing where like if she goes to somebody else, I'm gonna open up my front door every day and be like, well, nice, like somebody else is getting business.
Yeah.
But something she said kind of struck me, like when she was sort of playing the potential client, that I feel like would come up during my meeting. And I feel like it's sort of an opportunity to kind of leverage the situation, like, in mine and her favor. So I kind of wanted to get your opinion on it. So Teresa had said something along the lines of like, well, I trust you. I know it's sort of impossible to put a dollar value on trust, but like at some point in that conversation, we'd be like, well, listen, like, what is the sort of trust and like the peace of mind that like, I'm going to take care of this the right way. And that when this sale is finished, it's going to be finished. Like, you're not going to come back to this. It's not going to be sort of, a headache and a sale from hell. Like, that I know what I'm doing. You know that I'm going to take care of you. And you know that like I'm going to take care of you better than I don't even take care of the typical client because we know each other, because like we have sort of this, we know each other. There's an emotional investment. Like,
Yeah, we know each other. And I know that you will refer other people to me because we
Right.
have this relationship, and I respect, and I want to make sure that I do so well for you that you tell other people about the great experience you have with me. That's, having your, and that too, Teresa, you can say something like that to people. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. The one thing I ask of you, since, I'm really being, not getting paid my full fee, is I ask in the next 60 days, if you could at least refer me one person. Do you think we could do that? That might really make me feel better about this. What do you think? I mean, that might ease your mind, also make them feel obligated back to you.
That would be great.
I don't know if that helps with your question, Justin.
And Lisa, you might want to say, this is what I heard from other agents. When they asking for a lower fee, say, hey, what can you do for me? And they're like, well, what do you mean? And that's exactly it. Who can
Yeah.
you refer me in the next 30 days who's selling, not buying, who's selling?
Right. And would you mind if I asked you every week, if you knew anybody, because they're going to talk to people and say, wow, you're selling your house? Oh, I'm thinking of selling my house. Great. You've got to go see Justin. You know what? Teresa's doing an awesome job. And the other thing I would say to these people that are close to you is, I'd really like to keep our commission structure confidential. I'm only doing this for you. And I appreciate the fact that you're giving me a chance. So do I have your, can you make sure that we keep this confidential? I won't do this for other people. Makes them feel special, so I say that too.
Okay.
Because if you have to do it, what are you going to do? As a buyer agent, I took a 1.5. I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? But it was like the 12th offer with these buyers. And finally, I'm like, whatever. They just need a freaking house. And then I did take a 1 from someone as a listing agent. I took a 1. It sold, thank God, really quick. And I had them pay for everything. Photography, clean their house up, everything. So I said, it was, it's a bummer when you walk away from the closing table and the buyer agent's getting more than you, and you paid for the sign that goes in the yard, and you paid for,
Right.
shit. So do your own open houses, collect the buyers, and at least get something else out of it, and obligate your sellers to give you a deal. I don't know. That's probably,
Sorry.
Teresa, at the open house
Mhm.
that you do for that your neighbor, even if people tell you that they're working with a realtor, definitely call them back, because I got a listing appointment this week for someone at the open house. Rick and
Really?
Lisa's open house. They were saying that they were working with an agent already, and that might be true, but like on the other end of it, his parents are selling the house, so it's like, you know what I mean? Everyone who
Right.
walked through that open house, I called. So
Great.
I
Although
always
they
say
come,
that. I don't think people believe me when I say
I
that.
believe you now. I was a little
Yeah.
like hesitant at first, to be honest with you, but it does, like, it's true.
well, they
Yeah,
want
you
to do
gotta-
by appointment only.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And why is that?
They feel like there's going to be too many people. They're both just getting over COVID. They just don't want a lot of people in and out. They want to know when they're coming and have a little more control over it.
So why don't you do this? Schedule big time blocks and put people in every 15 minutes.
Well, that's why I said might have to do it over like 3 days.
Mhm.
That's even
That's
better
what I
though,
would do.
because now you can have like conversations with them. I felt like people were just in and out the whole time, and I didn't really get like to talk to them like I would
Mhm.
like to.
But if they have all those people are going to have agents if they're making appointments unless they call you.
Oh, true. I didn't think of
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
I'm hoping that, again, they need time to clean it out because there's a lot of stuff they need to clean out, but I
Tell them
did
get
call
rid.
them.
Yeah, tell them oh, and you needed that woman's name. I didn't get it to you, did I?
Yes.
Arrange? Okay, her name.
Right. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
I told them yesterday, they wanted to wait till May. And I said, it's better to do it sooner, given the market. And, they feel pressure because there's so much stuff to get rid of. But
Tell them
sometimes,
called Dirty Deeds is another pretty,
What a name, huh?
yeah, dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Oh, all right.
So
I mean,
this
I
is
do
what
think-
everybody says to us. Too much, darling, too much. You're asking me.
I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Um,
Hi, Lisa, may I have a question?
Hi, Flora.
Hi. Yeah. How do you feel about doing open house if it's a condo?
I don't find it's any, I think it's okay. I think maybe having, I have done open houses with a condo. You're buzzing them in as they come in, and I don't find a problem. You afraid like too many people?
Yes.
I only do 2 parties at a time, no matter what the open house is. So one party comes in and then another one, usually that's okay. And then as one exits, then I can let the next one in. But if it's a condo, maybe put something on the outside of the, on the door outside. It says, I'll buzz you in. We are doing 2 parties at a time. Be patient. Thank you so much for your patience. Do you feel comfortable doing it? No? Do you want to do appointment only? You could do that. Just put time slots where people, don't put it, just put time slots for like 2 hours. Have people do every 15 minutes, book every 15 minutes. I don't know if you use showing time or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's that?
I do. I have showing time.
Yeah, so do 2 hours on a Saturday, 12 to 2, and have them do book every 15 minutes. And then you have just those booked appointments and nobody else.
Okay.
Because it won't be an open house. It will just give that block time.
Sia and I had limited people to get in the house. So I was at the door while she was in the house. So
Mhm.
if you have somebody to help you, Flora, just be at the door, letting people in, sanitizing their hands, taking their shoes off, whatever.
Mhm.
And then have that person direct them to you. You can limit them that way as well.
So here's a good for sale by owner script, I think. If somebody wants to go through it, it's kind of, everybody thinks they can sell it on their own, right? Everybody's like, the market's so hot. It's
Sorry, I have
not
to go.
just,
Thank you.
oh, I'm sorry, Louise. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Oh, God.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bye.
Bye.
We didn't really do many scripts at all or any. More of a mastermind.
I'm sorry, I talked too much.
No,
No,
it's good.
Oh,
I think
great.
everyone gets some, I think everyone gets a little information out of other people's issues, or, we're all in the same boat, and we're all just trying to get the listings in. And you want to get listings. I mean, you can have a lot of buyers, but it's like banging your head against the wall. And there's tons of people who want to list right now. You need to get out there and tell them how awesome the market is and that you can do it. I don't know if you guys want to go through, I mean, Justin, are you on the Facebook page?
I am not. Like I said, I literally just got onto everything like on Monday. So I'm still waiting for like my KW email and everything else.
Okay. Well, if you go on you're on Facebook?
Yep.
It's called Lisa Axios Scripts and Tips. There's a ton of scripts on here. And even if you found someone that, I'm here twice a week, and, sometimes it turns into a mastermind. Sometimes we do go through the scripts. It just depends. You might even find someone else that you just do them with every day. Yesterday.
I was just going to say, this was extremely helpful. Like, it really was. Like, this was kind of like the exact situation that I'm probably walking into on Sunday. So even just like sort of the general overview of like, okay, like how can I approach this, or like how can I steer this conversation was awesome.
Oh, good. There's a listing plan of action in this. So go in, I'll have to invite you, like if you go into this, there's a ton of scripts that you can find. You can print them off, and there's a listing plan of action that you can kind of look at and, maybe create your own listing plan of action with that and present that to your, the homeowners that you're working with.
That would be tremendous.
Same thing, Brendan, do you have that one, the listing plan of action?
I do.
That'll help with your appointment.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Are you gonna be in the office today?
I am,
I just
probably
need,
around noon. I have a couple of things I have to do.
Okay.
And Lisa,
just
I
need,
had
like, 10
sent
minutes.
you, oh, sorry, Brendan.
No,
And
you're
Lisa
fine.
had sent you how to bring a strong offer to the table with your buyers. Some
Oh, cool.
information. Did you get
Did
the
you send it
email?
to me? Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
I sent it Monday.
Okay. Thank
So-
you, Tasia.
So I
Yeah,
was
that would be
wondering-
good.
Yeah, she has
Yeah.
some really, she's been working with buyers forever, and you have some great tips and tricks, Tasia. That's awesome. Awesome.
Okay, great.
I wish I got it last week. I had a buyer that put in an offer and there were 32 offers.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna get it with 32 offers, but
Yeah,
when you've got close, when there's 3 or 4 close ones and you want to stand out, these will help.
Okay.
You're
Great.
gonna stand out when, they're close. I don't know with 32 offers,
yeah, it's insanity.
I
but
want everyone to know that I think one of the big things is confidence. And you don't want to talk about who you are as much as you want to talk about what you can do for them. So just remind yourself, that you want to talk about what you can get done for them and go in there confident. That is very important, and understand that people want you to kind of take control. This is a big, people don't sell every day, and it's very overwhelming for them. And remember that. Think about how tough it would be to pack up your entire belongings and going through memorabilia, and tough to pack up and move. So they want you to guide them. They really want that guidance. They don't want you to push them, but they do want guidance. So no, if you are brand new and you're not sure what to do, there are people here, we'll try our best to give you advice and, help you through that, or get, whatever we can. But just remember, they need you. And it's just your delivery has to be, come across confident.
Mhm.
So I know it's 9:04. We will do scripts. Yesterday, I wanted to say 3 guys were in the office in the conference room yesterday. I came in and they were practicing scripts, and it was awesome. So it's great to get in the office. It's great to role play as well as, on the phone, like here, but role play outside of the scripts and tips. It is
Okay.
essential in getting those signed contracts and getting, if you can, your full commission that's owed to you. You deserve it.
I believe it, yeah.
Look how much
Thank you.
education we go, and we're always learning, and we're always trying to be better and do better for our clients. Not every realtor is doing that. They're just bouncing around. I mean, this is important. And I find that the more education, you grow, and your business will grow to the extent that you do. That is absolutely true. If you grow as a person and you become more disciplined, your business will become better. So keep learning, and, constant state of learning and doing and action. So go get him, go get a listing, go get him.
Thank you.
And Brendan, what time is your appointment today?
I have an appointment with a buyer at 5:30 today, so I just wanted
Okay.
to
Wow.
ask you a couple of questions.
Okay, absolutely.
If
We'll
you,
try to find- I'll
it'll only
find
be like
you-
5 minutes. Like, I'll
Sure.
see you later.
Okay,
All right,
Thank
bye
you,
guys.
Lisa.
Have a good one.
bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.